Hi, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the winter solstice and Christmas. Okay, 2020 is wrapping up, but we're still in the year of 2020 vision, of getting our 2020 vision back. So, making our eyes wide open about what's really going on. Okay, so we're seeing that with society at large, with what's been going on with the whole pandemic, with what's been going on with the lockdowns, with what's been going on with the mask mandates and the social distancing mandates. And now, with the winter solstice and Christmas approaching us, I feel it's important for us to get a better understanding of both of these celebrations. And so with the winter solstice, it is the darkest night of the year. Okay, so it's the time where the earth is furthest away from the sun. And in that time of darkness, right? So being the darkest night of the year, it is a time where there are powerful energies from the planets and the universe as a whole that are present and available to us. And if we honor it, then amazing things can be born in that energy of the winter solstice. Okay, so I come from an Iranian background, and in Iranian culture, the winter solstice is celebrated every year culturally. And so this is pre-Islamic civilization we're talking about. So this goes back to Zoroastrianism, and even prior to Zoroastrianism, in a religion called Mitraism, which originated in 1400 BC in India, but became very prevalent in the Persian Empire and Iran in that area, going back to about 3,000 years ago, up until around 2,500 years ago at the time of Zoroaster. And so with the winter solstice in Iran, as I mentioned, it's called the night of Yalda. Okay, so that's the Persian word for it. And Yalda comes from the root of that word. It means birth. Okay, so you actually find a similar root for this word in Arabic as well, walad. Okay, or yulad. All right, so it's about the night of birth. And so what does this mean? So it's the night of birth of the light, right? A night of birth of the sunlight, of, and looking at it symbolically, the light within. Okay, so looking at things from a integrated perspective, recognizing that the light is born in the darkness, this night is a time where people engage in prayer, meditation, reflection, and spending time with loved ones in order to honor this light that is being born. Okay, and so this tradition was practiced in Iran, as I mentioned, but also that tradition through the Mitraistic religious practices got incorporated into the Roman Empire. Okay, so in the Roman Empire, right, you had the predominance of Mitraism as the fundamental religion, as the primary religion of the Roman people. Okay, and so the birth of the sun god was a very popular tradition. Okay, and so this tradition honored the night of the winter solstice, and that first Sunday after the winter solstice was the time that the Mitrists would honor the sun god and have a great big feast and celebrate. Okay, and so and this was typically honored with cypress trees, being a symbol of reaching that light. Okay, then you had the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, so with the birth of Jesus Christ, so you had this amazing energy entering the world that has moved mountains and has inspired people globally. Now, historically, if we look at the life of Jesus, we don't know exactly what year Jesus was born, let alone what day. Okay? So, in the Roman Empire, when the Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity, the people of the Roman Empire, they were very concerned because they weren't, predominantly they were not Christians. They were still Mitrists. They were very concerned that Constantine was going to overrule their traditions, including the Winter Solstice, this night of Yalda, or the Winter Solstice as it's called in English. And so in order to keep people from revolting, Constantine said, okay, we will keep your tradition of the winter solstice, of celebrating the sun god. However, it will now be known as celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. And so we will continue with these traditions, however, under the new name of the birth of Jesus. Okay, and so this continued and continues today all around the world. And so I feel it's important to talk about this because these traditions, this Mitristic tradition, originated in India, was very prevalent and is very prevalent in Iran today, and is practiced in the West. And so these days we look at, the Middle East as the source of, evil, and, is where we want to project our anger collectively. However, looking back historically, we'll see that, people from the Middle East celebrate very similar traditions to traditions that we celebrate here in the US. And we'll realize that we're really all one people. Okay, so if you take a historical look at things, we'll see that our traditions come from the same source. We may give them different names, but essentially they are the same, right? We're all human beings, and we all honor our values, our compassion, our families in different forms, but at the essence, they're all one. And with the winter solstice, so this is really a night of extreme opportunity, right? So amazing energy is present, and if we want to honor our Western civilization's Christian heritage, one way that we can do that in a more conscious manner is to bring in Christ consciousness into our collective understanding and practice. Okay, so for example, we can look at the winter solstice with its potential and opportunity as a night to inculcate Christ consciousness. Okay, so this is something that great Christian sages like Rudolf Steiner and Carl Jung both recognized. And if we take that opportunity, then we can channel this energy of Christmas, of the winter solstice, and create a more conscious ceremony, both for ourselves and for those around us. I thank you for your time. Much love to you all, and we'll talk to you soon.